Well, it's obviously an extremely hard-fought game by both teams. I mean, it was going to be a really good, tough win for one team and a tough loss for the other, and they got the good, tough win. But I thought both teams we played winning basketball. I thought they were deserving of winning, and we were too, and that's why it was such a game. And points were hard to come by. Both teams played outstanding defense. The difference maker for them was Huff. Huff had, I think his best game, and he's had a lot of good games, don't get me wrong, but he had his best game today, and especially in rim protection. But I'm proud of my guys. They played their butts off, and I know Tony's kids did the same thing. And I do think that the experience of playing a game like this helps us. They're more experienced. They've been, they're older and they're bigger, and we had a really good effort. We didn't finish in the first half a couple shots that we would have in the second half. I just think our intensity picked up as the game went along. But outstanding game. It's just an outstanding game. Any questions?
Yeah, Mike, considering the way they play defense normally, what does it add when they have a rim protector like Jay?
Well, even if they don't play defense normally, that's a lot when you have a rim protector. Yeah, this thing I'm going to buy one of these bolts onto this. When I do that, it goes off. Or what the hell?
Mike, could you have fathomed?
I was just saying if it's made in Poland, we would have made it better, by the way, just so you know. Nothing against my brethren. I'm saying it would have been better.
Mike, you guys came in
Where
here.
are you?
Right here.
Okay.
You guys came in here averaging 83 points. Could you have fathomed scoring 50?
No, yeah, because they can control tempo, and you're not going to have a high-scoring game against them. So they didn't have a high-scoring game against us either. I mean, both teams play great defense. This wasn't one team played better defense than the other, and but that's the hard-fought type of game they play all the time. So that's that experience of playing in that level of game, it helps them. I mean, that's I think why they've won so many of these games Well, they've done it for a long time, but recently, like one possession games, because they're accustomed to how important every possession is.
Mike, did you think Did you think your ability to get the ball out of Clark's hands, bringing the ball up court, took them out of their offense? Because it looked like it did. Yeah, I thought it helped us. I thought our game plan defensively was good, and it forced a lot of their guys to be ball handlers. And we weren't thinking we're going to be able to take it away from anybody, but it meant that they couldn't run their offense as many times as you took time off the clock. It put the ball in not their decision makers' hands, and but they handled it. They handled it well. But our defense, I'm pleased with what we did, and we got the ball to Vern, right there at the end. Trey made a great pass, and they made a great play to stop a winning basket. I mean, that's how close the game is.
Coach, unlike the last few games, you guys were unable to find that third consistent threat from the field. How important is it for you guys to find that third consistent guy, since it's really all been alternating throughout the season? Yeah, well, we had hoped to find more than the third. Our wings didn't score at all today, and or the four-man, and that's the level of inconsistency we have with our experience. We're not an old team, and we started 4 freshmen today, and we usually start 3, and we just have to keep getting experience. I've said it from the get-go. We're very much a developing team. We won a lot of games. Now we've lost 3 out of 4. The world hasn't come to an end or anything, but also, how do you get your experience except by being in these games? And so I hope this will help us.
Mike, what went into that decision to start the 4 freshmen? First time in a while?
Just, we thought with their 2 bigs, and, with Vernon, you need somebody to hit some shots. So that, when he does pass the ball out, and we haven't been able to find that consistently. And certain games, we get it, and tonight we did not. And I don't know if that's because they're working so hard defensively, but I think they're, one thing about Virginia is their length. It's not just Diakite and Huff, but their wings are tall. And so when you think you have a shot, the 2 things you can't practice against unless you have them are quickness and length. And we have the quickness, but we don't have that length. And so their length, I think, is it helps them tremendously on their defense.
Mike, you've mentioned playing in a game like this, the experience is going to help you guys going forward. How much do you take out of the fact that one of the things that Trey mentioned was just he felt like the effort was better compared to the NC State?
No, the effort was astronomically better because there wasn't an effort. But in saying that, any effort would have been better. But this was our guys played hard, man. I'm proud of my guys. I'm disappointed we lost, and congratulations to them. I mean, I recognize good basketball and good hard basketball, and you appreciate your opponent, but you also need, to appreciate your own team when they're playing that hard. And so, coached a lot of games. This is a really good basketball game. This was not a good basketball game. This is a really good basketball game where every kid out there competed, and it came down to a play, one way or the other. And as you go forward, you would hope that you would think that you're going to be in similar games, and hopefully you make that one play more and advance. Basketball's not about getting bowl eligible. So basketball is very difficult. Very, very, not that football isn't, not knocking, but making postseason is a lot more difficult in this sport. And, we have teams, really playing hard in our league. People are knocking our league, but, Wake Forest won again today, and, Carolina is good. They, if you could give each coach 4 possessions that have 4 more wins. That's how close. So some more, but just 4 possessions. And so when you get into just looking at records, it's sometimes deceiving on how good a team might be. They're not, just if they're 500, doesn't mean they're 500. They're 3 possessions away from being 6 games over 5. If you're 8-8, you take the 3, it's 11-5. Just, I'm good at math. And, so what I'm saying, that's a big thing. It's a huge thing. So winning close games is huge. And our league has had a lot of games like that. So when we judge our league, please, take a look. You don't have to judge me. I'm not going to be here that much longer, and I don't really care if you judge me. But I do care about our league. I think our league is better. And I've always, one of the reasons we've been good is because we're in a great league. And, a lot of really, really close games. Guys are coaching their butts off. Kids are playing like crazy. And, we'll see where it all washes out.
All right, one more for Coach.
Coach, so Vernon got into foul trouble again today, as he did against Wake Forest and I believe against NC State. How tough was it against Virginia's length to not have Vernon and Javin out there at the same time?
Yeah, well, we don't usually have Vernon and Javin in, so that's something we did different today, and that was good. that actually was good. You know, anytime you don't have Vernon on the court, just like if you don't have Trey on the court, we're not as good a team. You know, because those two guys are the differentiators of us being good or very good. And, I thought he played really hard today. You know, he competed like crazy, just got learned to do that all the time. And see, you gotta do it all the time, okay?
All right,
Thank
thanks a
you.
lot.
Thanks.